Hey guys, my name is Seniac, and what you're witnessing right now is the Grand Interchange that I built last episode. This is going to be a very crucial part of our train network right now. Now, this is going to be very interesting to see what we do right now because we are back with another episode of Transport Fever 2. We'll get onto this in just a moment, but guys, if you are enjoying the series so far, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, last episode, we've started making more money than we've ever made before. If I go to our charts right now, that's not the right button, this chart here. You can see the blue bar, forget the red bar because that's all determined to how much I spend. But the blue bar is reaching new heights. That it reached our biggest height just here recently. And it's crazy how much we've like doubled the income in one episode. And that's down to the fact that we've now got Charlotte over here utilizing its food production route, which is feeding the city, and that is now booming the population, which causes, obviously, more residents, which need to use the train, the public service train. And I did the exact same thing in Boston as well. We kind of rerouted some of the roads as well and caused a huge boom in Boston, which creates more passengers, more people, and it makes our public transport line get used even more. So much, in fact, that your boy got a second train running on it. There's one over here. There's one over here. And we kind of did that in a lot of places. We added more trains to more routes. So we're just ultimately making more money. Now, the reason I built this big interchange here is it's going to be the crisscross. I did actually, guys, if I should build like a better version, if anyone knows. But it turns out this one, it should be adequate enough. So I'm not going to worry too much. But what I want to do, right, is here, as this line comes through, which will replace this line that goes through here as a tunnel, because, you know, your boy's kind of got that sweet cash money moolah right now, I'm going to build a big distribution hub here. And eventually, I'm going to connect an airport to it. Now, the reason is I want to bring food. Now, I could utilize the food line over here to Boston, to New York, from Charlotte up to Washington, but I want to make big money. The amount of food farms that we have in the Midwest over here, I want to utilize the run that way. Because obviously delivering goods from Kansas to, for example, New York would make serious money. But it's quite a long route. And New York wouldn't get the food as often. So I'm going to play a little bit of a middleman. Reason for it is as well, I can bring other goods to this distribution hub and distribute them wherever I like. Because at the minute, if I wanted to get machines and the food to New York, I need to use 2 trains. One from there to there, one from there to there, take for ages. Bring 2 trains here, 1 train there. I know it's 1 more train, but I'm short in distance, I'm making money twice, and they'll get the goods often. That's the difference, okay? Leave me alone. So this is going to have an airport connected to it, which is really important. Because it does then mean if I bring all the goods, or majority of my goods come to a distribution center, I can then ship it or fly it anywhere I want in the United States of America. So that's what we're going to try and get up and running today then, and hopefully get some goods distributed to Washington and New York. So what I need to do then is I need to figure out where I'm going to put my distribution center. So we'll get the train line here, which I now know we're kind of progressing over to high-speed train tracks. So I might, from this moment forward now, utilize high-speed train tracks and then just simply upgrade the old ones when I start building routes that kind of somewhat require it. So that's what I'll kind of do. So if I get this running all the way along as well, it's going to be a lot more expensive, but it means I can get faster trains skedoodling down these lines. Track constructions, no building, sorry. I need a cargo station. Now, I don't know if I can get, yeah, you can connect. So I'm wondering if I can get, actually, we'll just do it. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Right, if I do it like this, because I also need to have a bypassing route. And, do you know what? It doesn't really matter because I can edit the heebie-jeebies out of this. So I could just save some money, just build that, and then edit it like crazy. So, what I need to do, now there's going to be quite a few platforms on this. There's going to be quite a few platforms, is I'm going to delete the main building. We'll delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. So we now just got the train track, okay? And what I'm going to do is we're going to keep the train track as it is, which I do need to upgrade for... How do I upgrade this? Hold on, if I just place these down here, and if I delete this, we're going to try and have it all to high speed because this is the future of my train industry. Now, we'll go quite long because you never know how many platforms. Well, I know how many platforms I'm going to have, but you never know how long the platforms are going to need to be. You never know how much product you're going to be distributing. So it's best to have big long lengths. So we have the middle bit, which is the complete bypass if you just want to go straight through. Don't even want to touch this train station. And then we have the first, right, of our cargo platforms. Okay, we're going to have these here. Now, the great thing about this is I can just keep it, you know, making it bigger, expanding it more and more as I go along. There's kind of no, you know, end to the lengths that I could create. But if I then do, I could do a double platform like this, right? There we go. So I'm really bulking this up. Now, I wouldn't normally build like this. I'll just do like one train line here, cargo platform, and then another one. But I'm doubling up right now to make the most out of this. Like I said, this is going to be a big distribution hub. So I need, it's like, I'm like building Amazon, you know, an Amazon warehouse right now. That's kind of like what I'm doing. Right, and what I'll do, we'll then just end it here with these platforms. And then as I need to extend and expand upon them more, we'll build upon it. So, and I'm most likely going to build this way because I'm going to put over here right now a building, a road, and that's eventually where I'll connect up the airport when we are ready to start using planes, which I'm quite excited about. Right, there we go, nice and big. So now what I've got to do is the monstrosity of a task of bringing all these connecting together. So track-wise then, actually we'll come out of this for just a minute because I'm now going to create a connection for all of this. So what I need to do in terms of train tracks, ultimately, if I bring this, let's say down to about there, I need to get these tracks here all connected in. So if I bring you to here, and then where can this can bend in just behind it. Right, that's what I'm trying to do. So same again here, utilize this to the same length. Bring these all into roughly the same length here. And then that's coming... Oh, hold on, I've done that wrong. I shouldn't have connected it, but I've just connected it. It needs to kind of run just here. There we go. Bring this in just behind it. Reason for it is this then comes in behind that. This then comes in behind that. And then this kind of kicks in just there. And this kicks in just there. And then because of the sheer length of it, this is like what we kind of have to do. But then we can implement the old Crissy-Crossy just here. There we go. And then with a couple of signals. I know you guys love my signals right now. Did I do signals on this? I didn't. And I can't remember which side of the train tracks they choo-choo on. So the right side. Okay. So my old crisscross right now would go here. And I know you guys love how many signals I do. So enjoy. So that's how it's all going to work then. You've got the complete bypassing route. You can switch over to whatever kind of side you need to get on to be able to kind of come in and out, which makes life a whole lot easier. So crisscross, whatever side you need to be on, and you'll be able to get to the platform, and then you're also able to kind of get straight back out again. No stress, no dramas, no issues. And I'll have a kind of a train, an airport's already connected to it. So let me get my platform, the cargo buildings. We'll go for a decent sized one. And then we'll just quickly throw down a road. So we'll go for like a country style road here. Just so we can, one, get said connection when I eventually come to build it. And the great thing about it is the airport's going to be away from the majority of the cities, so there's going to be no noise pollution kind of hindering their ability to grow. So that's great. That works. That's glorious. I am very, 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 very impressed and happy with this. So now I'm going to implement that connection on the other side and then choo-choo this all the way through. Now the problem is, right, I can't build this and then connect it all the way through because it's going to completely cut off this connection here for the coal runs. And it's kind of annoying as well because all of a sudden the coal runs now have to will eventually have to go through here, up there, and then back in and down. But it is what it is. That's just how the new route is going to be running. Unfortunately, that's just what we have to kind of do. So we need to create a little bend that kind of goes down here into there to create this as a T. So I've got to be, again, a little bit careful. So I need to kind of bend this a bit sooner to go diagonal to bring this in to a T junction. So again, we're going to go with the high-speed railway. And if I utilize, let's say, this like that, and then we'll just kind of build off this. So that should run parallel next to it. Run in, and run in. Right, there we go. Hold on. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to have to pause the game right now because I'm going to slightly, not break it, but I'm going to slightly cause some issues. So if I just kind of created my little V here. So bringing that up to there. And then can I create the opposite way? So there to there, which then obviously this is going to go off and bend in that direction. To then wiggle itself to connect into there. That's simply all it's going to do. And what it also allows me to then do is eventually run a train line through Detroit to kind of go down into Nashville. I could do something with Chicago where maybe I turn this into a better connection, or the Chicago run comes down to here, V's to that straight bit, and then that's able to connect to other cities. So it all kind of works together. I'm trying to build this glorious train infrastructure. So I've now got to delete all of this, which is now going to break a lot of my train lines. So where's the V on this, by the way? The V's just there, so I'll delete to here. And all I'm going to simply do is run this into there. Run this into there. No dramas. He says, boys, he says. Now, even though I'm doing these high-speed railways, I don't really have high-speed trains, but I'm just kind of getting myself geared up for the future. So, for when we're able to start utilizing them. Now, difference is now, right, I can actually delete all of this because I no longer need any of it. So delete is a decent length back. Oh no, that train's coming in, so I'm gonna have to reverse that train. Sorry, train. I'm gonna delete this connection here. I'm gonna delete all of this line of railway. As it actually takes quite long to delete all this, doesn't it? Because I can now redo this bend to flow into it a whole lot nicer. So where is the crisscross there? The crisscross is there, so I'm going to go back to here. Just give us that little bit of space. Finally, we are done. And I don't think it needs to be bending as harsh here. So, you know what I'm going to do? Delete to there. Now, there's got to be a simplified connection in which I can utilize here. So that is the outer one. So if I then connect to the outer one, and that's the kind of bend they come up with, and the speed is actually quite beautiful with the length. So we'll confirm and commit to that. Run this all the way down as well. Bam. Now there's nothing stopping me making this come into a V here, but I don't really, it is annoying that they've got to go all the way around, but it's the same thing with the wood route. They could quite easily just kind of come down here to here, but I'm making them go all the way through because I'm following the train line. That's ultimately what I'm doing. So let me just drop some signals down real quick. I won't go as mad like I've been doing in the past, so don't worry. So we'll go to there. I know these ones some of these make no sense, but just go with it, okay? Just go with it. I got this urge that if I place a signal on one side, I've got to do it on the other side. So just roll with it, okay, guys? Roll with it. You know, we'll just go to there. Fine. And we'll go here. And where's the bend just here? I want to do it just before the crisscross. Very nice, very nice. And I'll always place it there. I'm only going to do this one because that's the only one they're really going to utilize. For the most part anyway. So that should be fine. So all the routes are okay. It's just this coal run that is now technically not okay. Now I'm going to send this going back. So if I fast forward, I need to send this train back. Sending them back, so... oh, okay, you can't be sent back. Okay, pause. Quickly. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the old crisscross here. Right, there we go. So it's now on the other side. So send it back, just so it can, you know, go back to where it needs to go. I can kind of get rid of a lot of this, and I can reset all of this up. It's a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a pain, but it should be okay. So that train's now using my new route just there. Should be alright. I'm just going to make sure that this train over here doesn't decide to come back again. Which it shouldn't do, because it's got nowhere to pretty much go. So I'm just waiting for this train to make its way back right now. So while it's doing that, I'm going to slowly delete all of this. And with the 93 million that I do have in the bank, I'm going to waste it all in building a high-speed underground tunnel through the mountains. Which is going to be absolutely freaking glorious. And expensive. Very, 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 very expensive. But I do need to be a bit careful about where it does appear from. Because I've got the two coal routes quite close by. So that train's trying to like scramble out of here before the tracks get deleted right in front of their faces. So I just need to kind of create the tunnel happening just here, basically. So we'll pause the game again. Now the train has made its way all the way through. And we're just going to use the flatten tool right now. Look at me flexing my wealth. Look, I got money to burn, boys, as you can tell. Money to burn. Right, to create our tunnel entrance just here. And it's just going to simply pop up. I can actually make it slightly staggered, which is cool. So I'm just going to make it pop up over there. So train constructions, tunnel. And how long would I want to make it as well? That's a good question. So do you know what? That will be fine. The sheer length for that should be fine. And then if I rotate this. And if I just kind of slightly eyeball it. So if I went about here, the bend should be adequate enough. The bend should be adequate enough. No freaking way is it that cheap. 160,000? Oh, hold on, let me get to the right place first. Why is it that cheap? It was never that cheap when I tried to build it previously, was it? What? Anyway, that's now in. Because I then need to make this all come out. So the problem with this is now, I've got to make a long straight bit before I can make it start to bend. So if I just brought it here, because I can always delete the length. Oh, why is this not snapping? There we go. So I can always delete the length to get the bend anyway. So what we're saying here then, we brought this one out as far as here, didn't we? Now I'm just gonna have to eyeball this and hoping it is the right size, but I'm gonna go to here. So that's gonna go to there. To allow this to run to here. To bring that into right behind it there. So I feel like this might be a shorter version of what I've just previously created, but it still should work nonetheless. And then So all I'm now missing is the old crisscross. The old Chrissy Crossy. And with that said, I'm going to delete to here to start the bend. So it's actually quite a tight little bend, this is. I could bring it down to there, which it doesn't like the idea of that. But if I ever do this, yeah, that keeps the speed of this trail going. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it does what it needs to do. Voila! We are now back up and running. I can press play and things will be swimmingly. But let me just get the signals in. Okay. So... Did I do signals on that one? Yeah, I did it before they all merge. Or yeah, it's for the bypassing route, isn't it? That's what it's for. So just after the old Chrissy Crossy. There we go. We'll go just there. I'll do it on the ground. One more. One last one. And we should be okay. So the new route, the cargo route here, uses the bypassing side of it, which is perfect. So if I press play, obviously I've ruined a couple of trains. But now this train here should be able to switch around and it's all good to go. And then train 9 over here just needs to be switched around. And then we're all good to go. So we're back to where we was, and I've spent actually not as much money as I thought I would, which is actually amazing. So we're now back to where we was. The lines can do what they're going to do. Yes, the coal routes have to go a little bit longer, but, you know, it is what it is. Look at the wood routes. But it all utilizes the same lines. That's the most important thing. And if I ever wanted to distribute coal to this, that's the other thing as well I didn't kind of mention. That I can also load this up with coal because the train line comes through. So, you know, I can distribute it to wherever I want to go to if needs be. So that's all up and running. All I've now got to do, right, is bring the food line over to here. But seeing as we have the machine line kind of technically going to be connected to it, I could... Oh, am I jumping ahead of myself again? I kind of want to do them together, but I could kind of get the one route set up right now. So the game plan is to get the machines from over there and the food from over Kansas over here dropped off here by 2 separate trains, obviously. But the problem is they won't bring the goods here and drop it off. They won't do it because there's nothing here to give it that demand. So what you have to do is you have to create a line that would pick up the goods that you want dropped off there to distribute to the city. And that's what creates the demand to do it. So, yeah. Interesting. I think the best thing to do first then will be to kind of create the food line. Now, this is an interesting one because right now, all I've got to do is build an extra line, or I just utilize the old Chrissy Crossy, which there isn't really a Chrissy Crossy on this, is there? So I'm just going to create a little bend coming out. Where is the thing here? So this is going to be actually quite a long run right now. This really is going to be quite a long run. So with the high-speed train tracks, trying to keep that all snapped. Right, there we go. Where's the snap? Alright, come back a bit because we're about to go over a bridge. So there's the snap. And then bring this all the way over. So that's a snap there. And I do get a couple of bridge options. Oh, I like that bridge. I mean, that is... I thought it was going to be like San Francisco style. I mean, it is that bridge, but it's not high enough to do the big, you know, Golden Gate style. I'm going to go for this bridge. Alright, yeah, let's go for that one. So confirm that. And then we want to... Oh, look at the amount it kind of cuts out of that whole space right there. Damn, look at the mountain it's created. Right, bring this all the way over. What would be hilarious if we chose a different style bridge. But we'll keep it like that anyway. Double bridges, boys. And all I'm going to do... Oh. Okay, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I could make this stop here to also bring some goods back. Reason for it is, as the train is dropped off the goods, as it comes back, it can fully load up, fully drop off. It depends on how busy it gets. Also depends on what kind of carriages the cargo holds. So cargo, the train that is going to bring the food over utilizes this, which when it comes back, it needs a box cart, which it kind of can't do. Because the box cart that brings the food over to the off there is going to then need a gondola to pick up that wheat to go back, and I'm not going to have that. I mean, I can maybe add 1 or 2, but it's always going to be pushing around an empty carriage, and I don't really want that. So, as good of an idea as it is, it's not going to work for today. Today, that is, though. Right, anyway, back to business. So, where's the snap? Is that the snap? Yeah, the snap is just there. So we need to get it to bend into here, but is there a crisscross anywhere? I feel like we're a little bit too far out yet for the bend. So there. Right, we'll go there, and then we also have to apply a crisscross. Now, I'm well aware I'm doing this with high-speed railway. I can upgrade. No dramas. And to upgrade the station, you've got to do it on the actual station. So now, I just need to grab this to bend out and then run this all the way back to, which will be just where we did the bridge. Wait, why is that not doing it? Whoa, why is that going over there? Alright, let's go to there first. Right, there we go. Big money spent. That's going to be a big run. That is going to be a big run. Now, this is, I'm not saying the issues I'm going to have. Obviously, there's going to be no issues. But we are now hoping, I mean, I could have done a separate platform. It just depends on how busy this all becomes. We are hoping that we can fully load this up with all the goods. So if I just do the signals, all that's now remaining for me to do, guys, is set the line up by the trains and just figure out all the magic behind it all to make it work, like the loading and the unloading, and then we are good to go. Look at the sheer height differences here. What is going on? Well, I'm not going to mess around with that just yet. I'll fix it at a later date because I just want to start making some serious money. Now, we're currently making serious money. That's the crazy thing. That is the crazy thing right now. We're making some serious money. But I'm going to start making some serious money in just a minute. Right, we'll go to there for that. I might as well just do all the signals on this. While I can. Right, I've done it on each one. I'm not doing it on these ones, have I? One just there. Bam, bam, bam. Just here as well. Alright, no dramas. No dramas. Okay, so this is now going to be a little bit of a headache to try and, work this out. But basically, new route. We're creating a line from here going all the way over to here. Okay? And we'll make sure that this is all set up correctly. So it's going to come in on that platform 1. It's going to come all the way from over here. And we'll get it to utilize in Pittsburgh North here. Platform... We'll utilize platform 1. Why not? Why not? Drop it off in there. Try and keep them all as separate as we can. So in Kansas, all it's going to do is completely load up on the food. And then in Pittsburgh, what it's going to do is simply unload the food. That's all that train line is going to do. Okay. Then another new line is going to go from the Detroit Ford GM plant over there, and obviously come over to here. And I'll make this utilize platform 6. It's going to go on the far side. So in Detroit, it does nothing but load up the machines. There we go. And then it does nothing but in Pittsburgh over here, unload the machines. That's all those two lines are going to do. Now, this is where the fun begins, okay? This is where the fun now begins. We then create a new line, right, from here. And I don't know whether to do this in one line or two separate lines. And we're probably going to do it in two separate lines. So from there to New York, right, there is a slight issue coming back somewhere that we've got to... Oh, I haven't done the V here. Right, let me do that V real quick. I haven't done the V. I knew it was too good to be true, boys. So we'll go back a bit just there. Because here, there is a crisscross just there. There's no signal. So let's go here and bend you in. So the longer the bend, also the faster the bend. But there's only so much you're going to be able to do here anyway. There we go. Quickly do the signals. So there's a signal there, but that's wrong. So I always go over the top just to kind of like literally future-proof myself with what's going down. It's to make sure that I've got all aspects covered, even though some of them don't exist. Anyway, so that line I just created from over here, Pittsburgh to New York, is now up and running. So over here in New York, or the New York one, in Pittsburgh here, we'll have it go to platform 5, so it kind of comes in on this side here. So none of them are going to be sharing the same platform right now, so they can all come in at once, which is quite cool. So in Pittsburgh, all it's going to do then is just simply load up the food and the machines. And in New York, it's then going to simply unload the machines and the food. So by doing that, it then makes the other two routes feel like now they've got a reason to drop the goods off here. But then I create another new line, right, which will start this in, which will be number 2. And this one's going to go to Washington. So double check it's on the right side. Yeah, so you can see they're all using different platforms. And this one does the exact same thing again because it's going to Washington. Now, I could have used the same train, but I'm dividing the routes to see how the demands affect the different routes. So load up the machines and the food, and obviously when these deliver the food and machines, it will split between the two platforms as well. Then in Washington, simply unload the machines and unload the food. So that is pretty much good to go, okay? All I've got to do is buy a bunch of trains. And I've got 95 million in the bank. Now the trains that because I'm going to have, basically I'm not going to have enough goods delivering the food and the machines here for the 2 destinations that it wants. So I might make the trains that pick up the goods and the food here down to there be half of what these two bring over to here. Now you might be thinking, oh my goodness, the food one's so long. But the machines has to bend there, wiggle, bend, go up, and it won't be as fast. This one starts depending on how quick the speed is. But forgetting that anyway, guys, forget that anyway, because now I need to buy a bunch of trains, and I'm just going to quickly utilize this train depot over here and just run the train line in to that one. That should be fine, and it all should connect up. It all should legit just connect up. Yeah. Right. Here we go. Here we go. So the first one then, let me see what's looking good then. Diesel. Electric. Now the electric's good and all, but I've got to do a lot more configurations to get the electric working. But you're, again, limited to the cargo. Now, we'll start with our machine one, which our machine one is a box car. Max speed, 50 miles an hour. Diesel engine, 50 miles an hour. Now, it does pollute a bit more, but again, 50 miles an hour. We're going to go with a diesel train. So, cargo. We'll add these box cars in. Right now, we'll go... Again, I don't know if they're going to have the full capacity to do this, but I'm going to go 120 on the capacity. So, we actually need 2 of these. So, if I buy 2... Right. Oh, that's a point. I could buy 4 of these, because it's literally the same train, but I might make the other ones a little bit smaller. So, buy 2 of these anyway. So, the first one is going to be for the machine line here, line 4. So go do your thing. The next one will be for line 3, the food line. Go and do your thing. But they won't work until I've got the other 2 vehicles set up. So diesel as well, cargo wise. And I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, we'll just do those for now. Buy 2 of them until I see what demands come from this. So line 5 to New York, and then line 6 to Washington. So now I have those train routes set up, you should start to see once these get their goods. Oh, that's a point as well, making sure that this line goes on the correct side. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fair enough. But you should start to see that these start producing the goods. So you can see the little bit of shipment now going up, but the transport's not going up. So when you start these, seeing these start producing the goods, you know you're winning. You know you're winning, boys. But for the first time ever, shipment's going up. So I know it's connected. You just got to wait for the building to produce the goods. Same over here as well. You got to wait for it. But now that used to be 55, that's now creeping up. And guess what, guys? We got our first bit of food on the platform. Yay! We know it works. And it will take a while before it's in full force, like, you know, full production. They've got their first bit of machines as well. And it's just picked it up, and off it goes. So that's now got to wait for that train to skedaddle by. That's going to go through. There's one of our diesel trains on the way out right now. Second diesel train's coming out. So it's all happening. It's now all legit happening. Just got to give it a little bit of time. Just got to give it a little bit of time, boys. So this train here coming down actually has nothing on. So this will be the food run one. This will be the food run one. So he's going to come in here first, then go back and get the food. So over here then, is this the one that's got a couple of machines on? Oh no, this is the one that's going straight to either New York or Washington. This one here is the one with food, machines on, yes. There we go. So all works perfectly. All works beautifully. They're all skedoodling out of here. They all wait patiently. See, that's why I sometimes go a little bit OTT with the signals, just to kind of make sure that I've kind of covered every aspect. But I might slowly start changing some of my steam trains right now to diesel engines. Because these seem to be pretty good. Alright, so this is coming in, and it's going to drop off 3 machines. So just kind of viewing the platform right now, depends on where it puts it. So 2 on one, 1 on the other. It tries to evenly distribute it as much as possible. That's just picked up 1 machine. So off that one's now going. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And off they go. And off they go. So this will take some time, but we should see it slowly happen. So this is just a case now then. So now these start, like this starts producing the goods. You can see it doesn't quite have enough steel, as you know, compared to the wood. So you got to figure out, why is that the case then? Well, over here we're not getting as much ore being delivered. Now you could argue, well, that's because of how freaking far away it is. So do we need to start building and adding on multiple trains on these routes? Because these platforms are heavily loaded up. There's lots of goods available. So the question is yes. Question is first though, if I manage the vehicle and edit it, I want to get rid of the steam. Are these gondolas the same? They're the same gondolas. I'm going to put a diesel train on it, or diesel engine. Just modify that. right? And then I'm going to simply duplicate it. So where is that engine right now? So is it going to come out? Do I need to set it to come out? No, it comes out itself. So that one ore route has now got 2 engines, 2 trains on. Do the same with this one. So edit it first. Add you on, replace, and then duplicate. So 2 on the ore. So ore more often should give these guys the ability to keep producing as much steel as they can. That's what we got to hope for. So it's all now just about finding the balance. That's what it's all now about. Another train coming in, dropping off the goods. So he's dropped off a lot more in this one. Now I can only assume that route leading that way is my New York route. That one's already kind of fully fledged, fully sat in. It could be the first time. Where is the diesel? Oh my goodness me. They go for that tunnel so much quicker. It's blowing my mind. It could be that the New York has more demand at the moment. It could be many things. The route's more kind of solid. But we'll just see what happens. Now, is this bringing over food? 52 food. Here we go. 52 food, boys. So that one just missed out on the food. But again, it should get distributed. So there's lots more food on this side. So is this our... where's this one going anyway? This is for... Line 6, so there's more. I mean, New York's sucking up most of it compared to Washington, which is understandable. New York is massive. But this line is rocking and a-rolling. So it would just take time right now for it to be fine-tuned and balanced out. It will just take time to fine-tune it and balance it all out. But this train right now, 120 on. Now that's only doing 32 at the minute. So I don't know whether it's now limited to... the speed. I don't know if it's like I should now slowly start. Oh no, that's the speed's all set up correctly. But I should maybe start thinking about upgrading a lot of the train tracks. There we go. I can't do the station ones because you have to kind of edit the station itself. There we go. But it's just something I'll slowly do anyway. We'll do the main runs over here first. Keep their speed up. Why not? Why not? It's all fun and games, this. It's all fun and games. Track maintenance 101. So I don't know how you do the underground bit. I don't quite know about that one. But anyway, let it do what it's got to do. That train there is hurdling. Right. So that all works. That's glorious. Like I said, it's absolutely glorious. And it will just now just take time for it to all settle in. So I'm only now going to assume New York has got not only the food and the machines that it requires, it's also got passenger transportation to, again, very limited cities. But this should now start to see a huge growth spike all over again. You can see now, is that a cargo train coming in? How much does it make? 2.1 million. Oh my good God. That's good cash. That's just from delivering it from there to here. So how much are they making from delivering it like there to there? So that's now going to get the goods. Nice little boost right there. Interesting, interesting. So I want to know when a food train and a machine train kind of comes into play. There's a food train on the way anyway. What do we like over here? There's lots of food on the platform. I think that's leveled up to the next level, by the way. Which is interesting. More food being produced. I like it. Okay, this is working out. I want to see what this train now makes finance-wise. I mean, it made... Oh my goodness me. It made 2.17 million. But now... I don't know if this is the first time it's coming in with 120 on board. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I want to see how much this makes anyway. So it's a full load. Coming in. Hot and heavy. 5 million. And then 2 million over here. Oh, we're making big stonks. Alright, this has got nothing on. Oh, that's the coal run. Okay, the machine train, not filled up yet, but we have increased the ore. Oh, okay. It's slowly getting there. We have increased the ore. Is that an ore train? That's a coal train. That's an ore train behind it. So we're getting to the point where we could be getting it quite often. So where's my machine train? So this is not a full load, unfortunately. It's not a full load, but that's okay because we're going to see how much it now makes, and we know we're going to be making a lot more. So show me the money. 1.1 million. This is really good, guys. This is really good. And eventually, the airport connected to it, flying to other destinations. That's crazy. So, we'll allow all of this now to do what it's got to do. We'll give it time, and then once we've given it a bit of time, we'll then start to see which areas are falling short than others. Like, we had to put double trains on the ore. But I feel like we're now going to start seeing... Is this an ore train coming down now? Yes, we're going to start seeing the ore maybe slow take over the coal. You never know. We'll see what happens. But we should start seeing consistent productions, meaning consistent steels being delivered, hopefully, fingers crossed. There's a lot of steel just over here right now, so we're waiting for that next train to get involved. So, fingers crossed anyway. Fingers crossed. That's how it's going to kind of work out. These cities should start to see a nice little growth spurt, which you can see Washington's now starting to go over a slight curve up. We should start to see New York having this... Oh, New York's gone through the roof. It's going through the roof, New York, right now, which will only just create more passengers. So the question is now then, while we let that do what it's got to do, what do we now focus on? What do we now focus on? Well, I think one of the main things is to get more passenger lines connected. So I think we'll slowly start getting the Charlotte split to Atlanta and to Savannah. Savannah going straight down to St. Petersburg, Tampa, to Miami. Then I can finally get the food delivered to Miami and St. Petersburg. And then that route run's then completed. More passengers. We'll split down to Atlanta, which I don't know if it's going to go into Panama or straight down to New Orleans, which will have a hub here, right? That then a train from New Orleans will go up to Nashville. Utilizing this run here, we'll try and get it to then turn off at this point to go through Detroit, to connect back to this, to come off again through Toronto, to connect back, to go all the way up to Montreal. That's going to be one hell of a train line. That is going to be one hell of a train line, but we're doing good. It's looking quite positive, and I'm very, very excited. So, we're nearly up to 100 million. I thought we made record numbers money here at 30 million in 1 year. A couple of years ago, or the previous year, 37 million. So, money's definitely coming in, boys. Money's definitely coming in right now. And this is very exciting. So, we will end it for here, guys. We will end it for here. Still lots of improvements to do, but I feel like this train network right now should be adequate enough, although we do need to do a few upgrades here and there, to implement more trains on, get more connectivity up. And I know a lot of you guys also want me to use planes and boats, and we 100% will be doing it. Boats are going to be quite important when we go to the Caribbean islands, even over to Bermuda as well. And just even shipping goods from the oils in the Gulf of Mexico over there, and even running up lines on the west coast as well. Airplanes are going to be very important because we've got this huge mountainous region. It's going to be quite difficult to run trains all the way over here. So we'll need like a central hub here for planes to land to bring the goods in that we can then distribute evenly. We'll probably have to use majority vehicles over on the west coast. But it's quite exciting. Big plans ahead, boys. Big plans ahead. And I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good.